Hi, I'm Amber. Welcome to GladrapChannel.
Here we are at Peach Boxing presents the Fighting Irish here at the ABA Stadium in Auckland, New Zealand. Isaac Savage, GladrapChannel, joined by the New Zealand PBA Super Welterweight champ, Mr. Business, Shay Brock. Welcome tonight to this night of fights.
Pleasure to be here, Isaac. I mean, I've been treated tonight to an awesome night of fights, and looking forward to this one. David Light, with an extensive amateur career. It'll be interesting to see, how he goes as a pro as well.
Look, you're 100% right. David Light, look at him. He's looking trim. He's looking ready to rock. 75 amateur fights, three-time New Zealand champ in 2011, 2013. He's an absolute rock star when it comes to amateur boxing, and he's certainly lighting up these pro ranks.
Absolutely. And we can't look past that silver medal at the Commonwealth Games as well in the heavyweight division.
And hey, one to watch. Certainly, it's been quite exciting as he's made this move now from amateur to pro. Recently fighting on the Sky card with Shane Cameron, dropping Louis K9 Teo, who was no walkover, no easy feat.
Absolutely.
And I don't think Louis K9 came in there to take a bow.
Oh, and yeah, he never does come. He comes to fight every time. So it was definitely a good first fight for him. To give him a look at what the pros have to offer, and he handled it well. Just have to watch the footage to see.
It was a great fight. You can certainly find it on YouTube. And we've got Vaimoli here now from the blue corner. Vaimoli fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand. Also a heavyweight, certainly a journeyman, and has everything in the toolbox here to finish anybody walking around the streets or the ring of Auckland, New Zealand. So we'll see how we go in this heavyweight matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a professional contest number 4 3-minute rounds. Fighting out of the red corner, the black and white. 75 amateur fights. 3-time New Zealand champ between 2011 and 13. Multiple Golden Gloves champion, including the Aussie Golden Gloves. 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games silver medalist. Older brother going into boxing, John McKay has been his coach at the Isaac Beach, ladies and gentlemen. 26 years of age. And fighting out of the red corner, this is David Light.
David Light, certainly one to watch. Extensive amateur career, and got so much power and skill in those hands, doesn't he, Shane?
Yeah, well, never thought it would ever turn pro. To be honest, he used to look down on the pros and think that amateurs were the way. I remember, if I can recall back in the days.
Maybe he's seen the light.
He's seen the light,
and he's stepping up now. And he's only just come off a win 2 to 3 weeks ago against Louis K9 Teo, who was a very, very solid fighter out of Pride Dan's gym, originally from Hawaii, now residing in Auckland, New Zealand. Here now, Vaimoli steps up to the plate to see if he can do any damage to this up and coming heavyweight contender, David Light.
You see Dave coming out, calm and composed. That lightning fast jab though.
We talked about the guard earlier, and Light, he doesn't have to keep that guard glued to the chin when he can rely on that beautiful jab that he's got, just putting out and then followed by a right.
Yeah. We don't know much about Vaimoli Ioelu. Perhaps he'll let his hand speak for tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Look, we know he's from Auckland. He's definitely no spring chook, and he's had a few fights himself. However,
in their southpaw stance,
we'll see how he goes against Light tonight. Light is lightningly quick, devastating with his punching power. I almost couldn't believe the knockout 2 to 3 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it because it was so quick, it was so fast and light.
Absolutely.
Certainly living up to his name. Vaimoli certainly the shorter of the two. And what we're seeing with shorter fighters as well, they need to close off that distance, be aggressive, not let the taller fighter
Oh, absolutely.
have that
Well, you
distance.
see, Vaimoli at the moment, he's standing off, and even when he gets jabbed, you know, he's trying to turn, you know, shoulder roll with the shoulder. You can't as a shorter fighter.
Exactly. You shoulder roll when you're, I guess, taller on the defense, not when you're coming and trying to be the aggressive
Or
fighter.
when you can actually, you know, when you're actually in range to let the hands go back. But no, he's right out of his own range. But as we say that, you know, he's still giving it a good go.
And
Letting his hands go.
as we say that too, well, look at the gloves too of these pro fighters. Their hands are wrapped differently, and they're probably in, I wouldn't say, would they be 10s?
Tens, yeah,
Tens?
definitely.
And they look like rocks. You know, they're brand new gloves. The hands are wrapped differently, so they are literally throwing rocks. The only thing really the gloves are there for to protect their knuckles.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's the misconception everybody has, is that the gloves are there to protect the opponent's face, but in reality, you know, it's to protect the fighter's hands, if anything.
And if you haven't ever felt a brand new glove, it's like a baseball. You know, it's hard, it's firm, and if you get socked in the head with it, it's not a beautiful experience, is it, Shay?
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better.
Even though you haven't been clocked too much, you're usually unleashing the shots, just like David Light is tonight. Certainly he's an echelon above Vaimoli, but Vaimoli, you know, a puncher's chance you just never know in the heavyweight game.
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely holding his own here, and he's seeing like just keeping Dave just a little uncomfortable and, you know, off his game plan just a little bit. But no doubt there was a David Light round.
100%, and you know, we do try to refrain from calling shots and rounds, but that was a no-brainer, Shay. That was an absolute no-brainer. Now, if you're in the corner of the blue for Vaimoli, what would you be saying right now? What would you be saying to finish or end the night of David Light?
Well, we see when he goes in close and lets his hands go, those little flurries. He did have little spots there where, you know, it showed potential in his shots with his combinations and connecting. But I mean, he's definitely got a tough road ahead of him, especially against someone with such a extensive amateur pedigree.
It's almost like speeding up a leaky boat. I mean, what would you say to David Light? Keep doing what you're doing?
Or maybe just like up the ante just a little bit more now that you're starting to find your pace, find your rhythm. And beautiful little body shot, maybe straying a little low.
But one thing, and that's one thing Light is going to have to get used to too, you know. Guys are going to be a little bit dirtier in the clinch. They're going to throw the old low blow, put their head up in the guard. And, you know, that's something that you can't really get away with in the amateur ranks, can you?
No, definitely not.
However, also too, facing guys like Vaimoli, he does have that potential puncher's chance, but as Light steps up the ranks, he's going to have to get a little bit more aggressive as he takes on higher, I guess, composed and skill-leveled fighters.
And with all that said, I like what Dave's doing so far. You know, he's figuring out his range there. There we go. He does have the fight under control and is fighting it to his pace, to his own timing. And, you know, when he wants to flick the switch, he can.
100% Ryan. Look, you see a bit of a knock or a cut or abrasion over there on the nose of Vaimoli. David Light in complete control. But Vaimoli showing how tough he really is. He's just like a piece of steel. He's not going down.
Good shots.
Comes back then too, as we say, the commentator's curse.
Beautiful body shots there. You see, he winks just for a moment.
And as we've seen, David Light has done punishing body shots, as he did 2 to 3 weeks ago when he dropped Louis Teo there. His hands are fast, they're light, living up to his last name. And why shouldn't they be too, with, you know, not far off 100 fights in his pocket? that jab just coming out like a piston. Beautiful how it comes back, and his guard is so strong, it's so solid. It's unbreakable.
And Vaimoli's taking those body shots very well. He doesn't seem to phase him that much, and he comes back with a combination of his own.
Little body shot there, trying to break the guard of Light, and then the left body shot a little bit low. Ref telling him to pull it up a bit. That's his second warning. Light saying, all right, mate, I'm going to give you a 1-2 left hook.
But it doesn't seem to phase Vaimoli that much. I mean, what's this guy made of? He's getting hit with some big shots, big combinations, and
we talk about fighters' durability, and you know he's similar to the guy Savan. Just takes a lashing and does not go down. You've seen Savan's fights?
I was involved in one.
And did he go down?
Well, you know, he does well to stay on his feet, and just like Vaimoli is doing right now. I mean, you got to remember
that too. You got clipped.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the same guy that took Sam Rapida through the rounds as well. So, and he was taking some good body shots that night as well.
And Vaimoli there goes back to the corner. Although he's breathing heavily, he doesn't look too out of the game. David Light certainly breaking a sweat now, and look like he's getting a bit of a glow on. Doesn't look too weathered, but certainly looks warmed up.
Well, he's landing some good shots, but Vaimoli, he's taking him. And I mean, anybody else, this fight could well be over right now. The way that he's landing, the way that he's just dominating at times. But Vaimoli, he's got heart, man, and he comes back strong.
Well, Vaimoli is proving why he's in the pro ranks, and he's taking shots that mere mortals would have been dropped.
Absolutely.
You know, many punches ago. He's standing there, he's standing and banging, and it's just the third round with a guy that could potentially be a New Zealand champ, if not more, world champ. So we'll see now as we got a few more rounds to go. Remember, these are 3-minute rounds for those watching back home, pro ranks. Round number 3, 3-minute rounds. Vaimoli coming out now with a bit more kick, a bit more pep in his step, but still walked into a couple there from Light.
Yeah, I'd like to see Vaimoli stay there for a little longer, perhaps. You know, once he's inside, he can let his hands go shorter fighter. You know, let his hands go short, sharp punches on the inside.
Just like we saw with the Maniac, you know, he closed the distance. He utilised aggression to get in with a longer, taller, reachier fighter. But is it hard? You know, it's easier said than done. We're sitting back here watching. Is it hard against a guy like David Light that's so skilled?
Well, that's the thing. You know, you're coming against a guy who's got this experience. Obviously, he is a big boy himself, so he's been up against this, you know, hundreds and thousands of times. So exactly, what do you do?
And that's the thing. Like David Light has been, but in saying that, you know, these are heavyweights. David Light is not a big heavyweight. Look at Junior Farr. Look at Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
You know, even Daniel Tai. I'd love to see Daniel Tai and David Light.
That's a good matchup, actually.
Can you imagine it? Daniel Tai.
Well, if it's anything like the one against Hinya Hill.
Oh, and as you say that, Vaimoli,
he's just taking what's he made of.
He just ate 3 shots and still
clean on the jaw. How is this guy still standing?
I'm not quite sure. He's definitely got a bit of Irish blood in him, because he's not going down.
It didn't even seem to wobble him.
David Light is probably thinking, what do
I have to do to get this guy out here?
You know, and that's what we've got to think about too. Is this one a reflection of his toughness? Or, you know, does David Light need to step it up and finish him when he does see that, you know, go in for the kill once you get the blood?
He's definitely trying to, but I mean, it's just full credit to Vaimoli. He's there. He's staying there. He doesn't want to lose this fight. He's not there for the paycheck.
Head off to both fighters. You know, Vaimoli's a journeyman, and Light has only just fought in the last 2-3 weeks. You know what it's like. That's quite in the pro ranks. That's a very, very quick turnaround. Regardless of how you come out of the fight, you're still training weeks up to the build up. You're still training like you're going to go a 4, 5, 6, 10 rounder. 10-second clapper. Vaimoli coming forward like an absolute savage.
He's giving it everything he's got. I mean, if I think back to when Dave was at the Com Games and when he won his silver medal, in his first fight he knocked the guy out in the first round with the exact same punches that he's landing on Vaimoli. So,
and that's with bigger gloves, softer hand wraps and gloves and headgear.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, they're taking headgear away out of amateur by then, but yeah, same thing applies. I mean, he's hitting this guy with everything he's got, you know, and we all know David Light's got some heat in those hands. I think it's just testament to Vaimoli's chin.
Vaimoli is an absolute cannonball. He just takes shots, absorbs them, comes forward. And like we said, full credit to him. He's got a chin of steel because David hits like an absolute sledgehammer and it's just not putting him down.
Well, I'll tell you what, to everybody who thought this was going to be a walkover for David Light, you know, this guy is definitely not sitting down for anybody.
Here we go, the fourth and final. David Light's probably thinking, thank goodness, but so is Vaimoli as well because he's taking a bit of punishment but doesn't look too bad considering. What next too as well, Shay? I mean, not that we want to predict the results early, but if you were David Light, would you try squeeze one more fight in this year? Would that be too much? Now we're getting to mid-November, 6 weeks out from Christmas.
No, he looks in good shape, and he, you know, from the amateur ranks, he'd be used to fighting multiple times in short turnover.
Just as you say that, he's throwing some punches, going back, looking in complete control, complete domination, but he still can't seem to put down Vaimoli, and that's a true test of Vaimoli's chin and grit here right now.
Absolutely, the crowd are getting treated here tonight, and Vaimoli, man, he's made of something else.
He is not going down. He's coming forward. He's still being aggressive.
Oh,
getting some very violent, heavy shots there.
The ref can call it. I mean, this guy's just taking big shots, and he's not even
body shot, head shot, body shot. I think the ref is on the verge. He's breaking it. Vaimoli probably wanted the stoppage.
I don't understand what happened there. Why did he break it up?
I'm not 100% sure either.
His eye seems closed. The one closest to us, his right eye, seems closed. Vaimoli.
David Light just pot-shotting, smashing Vaimoli like a heavy bag. Yeah. Vaimoli not offering too much back.
Vaimoli, he's one tough character. He's absolutely exhausted. He's taking big shots too, and he just keeps coming back.
Anyone watching back home thinking Vaimoli is a walkover, he's certainly not. He's taking everything on the chin and still coming forward, not going down, holding that guard high.
Oh, you can call it, ref. Oh my goodness. No, he just wants to keep on coming.
Just when you think it's over though, he's still coming forward.
But he's taking too much punishment for, you know, there comes a point where you're too tough for your own good. You got to think of the after effects that, you know. Look at that, eyes absolutely shut.
Oh, he just missed there. He's obviously not as sharp and on point. There's a 10-second clapper. Vaimoli has done well to survive. He's coming forward, he's throwing punches and bunches, but it's just not enough this late in the round, and David Light looking crisp, looking clean. What a fight.
Well, what started off as quite competitive ended quite brutally in that last round.
Well, you know, you were on the verge of stopping it. The ref was as well. It was very, very close, and how well did Vaimoli do to survive to the end of that 4-round war?
I mean, I guess, you know, the ref's in that position where, you know, he think, you know, he's the fighter taking a lot of punishment, but he's not. He's fighting back, and what would the crowd say? What would the critics say had he stopped it? Oh, this is another early stoppage because you got a promising up-and-coming fighter that wants a KO on his record.
What a hard position to be in. You know, like you said, you got to at times look in.
But I mean,
the fighter's health and safety.
Yeah, you have to look
not
out
crowd
for
entertainment.
Safety first and foremost. The safety of the fighters is paramount in there, and especially when the ref is the only one who can control whether or not the fight carries on. But absolute credit to Vaimoli for, he's made of something else.
He's superhuman, super Samoan in a sense. And here we have the winner, David Light. As expected, we didn't call it, but that was expected. Championship effort there for both fighters. David Light takes it away.
Well, who need a cocktail of aspirin and Panadol after this?
Did you hear that? David Light said he's finding it hard to find fights. Guys aren't putting up their hand, and who would to fight a guy, a heavyweight with, you know, just under 100 fights, 80 plus amateur fights. I think if I was a heavyweight, I wouldn't want to fight him anytime soon.
Oh, couldn't have said it better. I mean, he is one of the up and coming, promising stars of this game.